What's up, Rake N Scrapers? Welcome back to the second edition of Let's Talk Rake N Scrape. You see, I'm standing in the front of the Bahamas flag, representing the Bahamas, the 242, talking about the music of the Bahamas, talking about the culture, but especially Rake N Scrape. We're talking Rake N Scrape. Firstly, I'd like to thank all of you that watched the first episode and subscribed and gave comments. And those of you who are joining for the first time, please hit the subscribe button. That's the way we're going to keep this thing going, because we're going to keep talking about Rake N Scrape for another couple episodes. We're going to break it down and we're going to see how we could develop this going forward. Notice I'm representing my Bahari shirt, showing off the colors in the islands of the Bahamas. It's all about the 242, baby. So this week we're going to take it a little bit further. Last week we showed where it came through the traditional Rake N Scrape into Ronnie Butler transitioning it through Burma Road through 1969. I'm going to go forward a little bit because even though back then it wasn't called Rake N Scrape. I didn't grow up knowing the music being called Rake N Scrape. I knew it to be more calypso, and then there's that gombe word that was thrown around. So we got to talk about that gombe thing another time. We're going to discuss that. I want to talk about the way we dance to this music. All this stuff I want to discuss this time. But today we're going to look at how the music was played, how the guitar players played the rhythm then, how the bass player played. Some of the songs, we're going to look at some King Eric and the Knights and Tony Seymour and the Downbeaters, some other Ronnie Butler before he became the Ronnie Butler that we know today. So here we go again, folks. Thanks once again. Now listen, don't forget, hit the subscribe button. That's the only way we can keep this program going forward. Hit the subscribe button and send me your comments. Let me know what you're thinking, if this thing making any sense to you. If it is, then we're going to continue this and we're going to, again, grow this thing called Rake N Scrape. So, let's go forward. Here we go. So as I was saying, the Rake N Scrape didn't always sound the way we know it nowadays. You know, as we call it, with the Ronnie Butler rhythm, with the bass playing the swing on the boom boom, dun dun, which is what we're doing a lot of, even in the modern Rake N Scrape. But we used to call the music, as far as I remember, before even the terminology Rake N Scrape was used as much as it is now, it used to be called calypso. You play some calypso, but calypso, when you say calypso, you usually connect that with Trinidad, the Mighty Sparrow and persons back in that era. However, we used to call it the same thing. So we used to play our bass. If you do a search in some of the history back then, the calypso guitar rhythms was pretty much what we did. We didn't juke it, as we say. We didn't play the juke as much as we do now. So, the music back then played more of a calypso thing, and sometimes the bass they walked the bass a little bit more. For example, let's listen to Pretty Blue Eyes by Tony Seymour and Downbeaters. Boy, I was a lonely boy, and then you moving that so pretty blue eye. I love you, pretty blue eye. Alright, so you hear what the bass doing there is walking there, right? Same thing with King Eric and the Knights when they did their early stuff. Walking the bass everywhere. And you know, Ronnie Butler, pretty much when he started to grow into his popularity, he was a member of King Eric's band. His career started pretty much in that whole being a lead singer for King Eric and the Knights, and so that he carried that same kind of thing over when he started his early Ronnie Butler band. Listen to him. Down by the seaside, sitting sand. Even little children wants to join the band. All day, all night, Mary Ann. So he didn't always play the Rake N Scrape that we know it to be, like he would have here. Here we go.
I asked my woman what could I do to make her happy and keep her true. Only one thing I want from you, a little piece of the big bamboo, big bamboo bamboo.
So if we do a little research more, and again, as I said earlier in the first episode, this is what I've discovered for myself as I was doing my journey through trying to understand what Rake N Scrape is and how it works. So I said, we did the Calypso thing earlier with Tony Seymour and all the musicians and the early King Eric and the Knights and the musicians back in that era. They would have played the bass more calypso, or sometimes it'll be boom, 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 dun, 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 dun. And they didn't come to that bass rhythm until I think when Ronnie Butler did Burma Road. Now, I also believe, and I've never had this discussion with Ray Munnings, but I think they were influenced by that as well, because you listen to the beginning of Funky Nassau, they didn't play the bass the Ronnie Butler style. But Funky Nassau intro to me, until they go listen to the drummer,
Nassau's gone funky,
is Rake N Scrape to me.
Nassau's gone soul. We've got a doggone beat now, we're gonna call our very own.
And that beat we call our own, I think, is Rake N Scrape. So this is how I journey through this. And as we go on to the next episode after this, I'm going to show you some other things that T-Connection did that I think they infused the Rake N Scrape to one of their songs. And you'll see how the progression happened since the transition through the 60s or the early 50s, Charlie Adamson, 60s, 70s, into when Ronnie Butler turned it in 69 with Burma Road. And then we can see how the music changed. And now I'm going to bring in some of the music from the newer musicians, and so we can see how that transitioned to where we are today. Call it Rake N Scrape for now. And so, we've come to the end of another Let's Talk Rake N Scrape. Thank you all for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. You need to let me know. Let me know by hitting the subscribe button. We need that to keep this going. And also send me your comments. Don't let me be talking to myself. I want to have you being a part of this as well, We'll be talking about that kind of stuff next week. Joseph Spence and what he brings to the table. Drop detuning he's been using. So yeah, thanks once again for doing this journey with me. I'm having fun actually. I hope you're enjoying this as well. So until next time, let's talk Rake and Scrape. Thank you.